On.
Am I in now, Linda? Right. Welcome everyone to this evening's virtual licensing committee, hosted by Bassetlaw District Council. Following the outbreak of COVID-19, legislation was approved to enable councils to host virtual meetings rather than requiring members to be present in the committee chambers when making decisions. This keeps everyone safe by maintaining social distancing and allows business to be conducted in an appropriate manner. It is important that councillors can hear each other, so I will invite members to introduce themselves. In so doing, test their broadband connection. I am Councillor Josie Potts, the chair of this committee. Councillor Anderson.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Gary Clarkson.
Good evening, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Eaton.
Good evening, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Greaves.
Present, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Izzard.
Present, Chair.
Apologies for Councillor Jones. Councillor Presley.
Good evening, Chair. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Richards.
Good evening, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Sanders.
Good evening, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Sanger.
Good evening, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Tindall.
Here, Chair.
Thank you. We also have a number of officers in attendance. Stephen Wormold, Councillor Solicitor.
Present, Chair.
Thank you. Roland Wilson, Senior Licensing Officer.
Good evening, Chair.
Thank you. Wayne Nuttall, Licensing Enforcement Officer.
Good evening, Chair.
Thank you. Jennifer Flynn, Licensing Officer.
Good evening, Chair.
Thank you. Linda Dorr, Meeting Facilitator.
Good evening, Chair.
Thank you. Ellen Inslee, Committee Clerk.
I'm here, Chair.
Thank you. If a number of members lose connection and the meeting becomes in quora or the live streaming for public viewing fails, I shall adjourn the meeting to allow connection to be re-established. Thank you. Given there is a virtual meeting, there is no corporate responsibility to detail a fire procedure. However, I would like to highlight that this committee is being live streamed on social media. So all participants, please be aware of your actions and take appropriate safety precautions from your place of live streaming. Members, please remember to switch off your microphone when not speaking. Thank you. Agenda item number 1 is apologies. Ellen, are there any apologies?
Apologies from Councillor Jones, Chair.
Thank you. Agenda item number 2 is to receive declarations of interest by members and officers. Ellen, are there any declarations of interest?
We haven't received any, Chair.
Thank you. If during the meeting a member realises they have an interest, please disclose this as soon as possible. Any member who makes a pecuniary declaration of interest will need to leave the meeting and will be contacted to rejoin the meeting after the item in question has been heard. Agenda item number 3 is minutes of the meeting held on the 13th of January 2021 at pages 5 to 8 of your agenda. Are there any comments or observations? No?
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Will someone...
Chair.
Hello, who's that?
It's me, David.
Right, what's the matter, David?
On the first line of the minutes, it says Planning Committee Chairman. It once changed to Licensing Committee.
On the first page, page 5.
Yeah. It said the Chair welcomed all to the Virtual Planning Committee.
I can update that, Chair.
I've not got planning on mine. I've got the Chair welcomed all to the Virtual Licensing Committee.
Well, I've got planning on mine.
I haven't. I've got licensing.
Chair,
I've
if I
got
may.
planning on mine.
Hang on, one at a time, please.
Shirley has planning on hers.
Planning, right? Right,
I can
okay.
update it, Chair, don't worry.
Don't worry, yes, thank you. Right, will someone move that we accept the minutes, please?
I will, Chair.
Is that Joan?
Yes.
Thank you, Joan. Agenda item number 4 is minutes for action at pages 9 in your agenda. Are there any updates on these minutes, Steve?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Yeah, the minutes for action was the fees and charges which the committee approved at the last meeting in January. You'll see at paragraph 3, Council Solicitor was asked to find out how fishing permits are enforced before the next meeting. So I've contacted the Council's Parks and Open Spaces Department, which deals with fishing lakes, and they've responded as follows. The Council is responsible for 3 fishing lakes, which are Sandhill Lake in Worksop, Langold Lake and Woodsex Quarry Pond.
Right, yeah.
Council licenses fishing to groups at those sites, and at Sandhill and Langold, those groups have fishing bailiffs who ensure that fishing is only done by those who have permits. There was a group at Langold, but this was dissolved, and now the refreshment kiosk at Langold deals with the issue of permits for fishing. So the council officers themselves don't directly enforce fishing permits, but it's done through the organisation who are licensed to fish at those lakes or pond. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Steve. Does that answer the question then for people that asked for that? Thank you. Agenda item number 5 is the outstanding minutes list at pages 11 in your agenda.
Chair, just before we go on to there, Councillor Anderson's raised his hand.
Right. Jim? Is this about the fishing licence, Jim?
Can you unmute yourself, please, Councillor Anderson?
Yes, it is about fishing licenses. Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry I couldn't get to the comment box in time. It's with regard to the River Idle, which passes through council property in Kings Park. And I wonder if we are going to issue licenses. At the present time, we forbid fishing on the River Idle. And I needed to know if there was any enforcement that would take place on the Idle in Kings Park.
Steve, would you like to answer that, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I can also say that I can go back to the Parks and Open Spaces Department and ask the question, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Right, we'll move on now then to item number 5. Is the outstanding minutes list at page 11 in your agenda. The street trading review is due to be addressed once the principal solicitor, licensing and regulatory returns from maternity leave. Thank you. The Hackney carriage driver's licence will be addressed at agenda item number 6A. Okay. Are we moving on now, Ellen? Yeah.
That's right, Chair. Sorry.
As there are no items for discussion in public, we will move straight into section B, items for discussion in private. The live stream will shortly be stopped as we move to the confidential items I would like to thank anyone who has been watching the live stream meeting. Can I please confirm that in accordance with Part 1 of Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972, and after considering the public interest test as set out by the officer in the body of the report, members agree that the following items of business involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph 1, and therefore in accordance with section 100A of the Act, the press and the public be excluded from this meeting. Are members happy with that course of action?
Yes.
Is that you, David?
Yes.
Yes.
Gary?
Yes, Chair.
Tony Eaton? Kevin Greaves?
Yes, Chair.
Shirley?
Yes.
Councillor Richards? Councillor Sanders?
Yes, Chair.
Councillor
Yes,
Sanger?
Chair.
Councillor
Chair.
Kendall? And yes from myself.
Yeah.
Right. At this point, the live stream will be stopped as the confidential items are discussed. Can the caster please confirm once the stream has ended? Thank you.